What if I told you the life you dream of is hiding just beyond your comfort zone, and all it's waiting for is for you to take that one uncomfortable step? We spend so much of our lives clinging to what feels safe, same job, same habits, same daily routine because it's comfortable. But deep down, you know that comfort is also a cage, a soft, invisible trap that holds you back from your true strength, your potential, your better life. And today, I want to take you on a powerful journey, a conversation about how stepping into discomfort can open doors you never imagined. Let's focus on my words. We often find ourselves living within invisible walls, walls built by our habits, our routines, and the quiet whispers of our own mind telling us this is enough, this is safe, this is who you are. And so we stay. We wake up, follow the same patterns, think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions. It brings a certain ease, a comfort. But slowly, without even realizing it, this comfort becomes a silent trap, a gentle prison where nothing new grows. The space you live in feels familiar, yet within that familiarity, your spirit quietly withers. You stop seeking, you stop stretching, you stop challenging yourself. And one day, you realize your world has shrunk, not because life demanded it, but because you allowed it. Comfort whispers that you are fine the way you are. It convinces you that you don't need to do more, learn more, or become more. And while there is peace in self-acceptance, there is also danger in self-settling. Life was never meant to be a stagnant pool of repeated days. Just as water must flow to remain pure, your mind, your body, your very soul must move beyond the familiar to remain alive. Yet, so many choose comfort over courage, ease over evolution. They build a life where nothing surprises them, and slowly, nothing excites them either. What begins as peace ends in boredom. What starts as security ends in silent fear, the fear of losing even that small circle of comfort. And that fear becomes stronger the longer you stay inside it. But the truth is simple. You were never meant to live within walls. You were born to explore, to expand, to rise above. Every part of nature teaches this. A tree does not grow by holding tight to its seed. A river does not become mighty by staying in a puddle, and you will not become who you truly are by clinging to comfort. Growth demands a price, and that price is your willingness to feel uncomfortable. It's the moments when you dare to do what you've never done, when you step into the unknown with trembling hands, that you awaken something deep within. A power that was asleep, a strength you never knew you carried. And once you taste that feeling, the raw energy of pushing your limb, you begin to see how small your comfort zone really was. Discomfort is not a punishment, it is an invitation from life itself, calling you to rise. Every moment of discomfort you face is a door to growth. You fear public speaking, speak anyway. You fear rejection, ask anyway. You fear failure, try anyway. Because what's waiting for you on the other side is not just a better skill or a new achievement, it's a better version of yourself. Stronger, wiser, more resilient. The version of you that stops running from life and starts living it fully. The path of growth is paved with discomfort. It is the fire that burns away your false limitations. The pressure that shapes you into someone you never thought you could be. Without stepping into that fire, you remain soft clay, unformed, unfinished. But when you choose to enter discomfort, you allow life to mold you into your highest form. This is the silent agreement we all must make with ourselves, to choose the challenge, to embrace the fear, to walk into the unknown, because in that space you grow, you learn, you transform, and Fear stands guard at every gate of growth. Fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a signal that you are standing at the edge of your known world. It shows up when you're about to stretch beyond your habits, when you're stepping out of who you've been into who you're meant to become. Fear is natural, but running from it makes it stronger. Every time you avoid the uncomfortable, you teach your mind to stay small. You build a habit of shrinking. But when you stand firm in front of fear, when you move forward despite it, you break its power. You realize fear is only a shadow, large in appearance, empty in substance, and this is the heart of growth. It's not about erasing fear or avoiding discomfort. It's about walking alongside them, understanding their role in your journey. Because the more you face fear, the less control it holds over your life. Fear slowly transforms from a wall into a doorway. You begin to see it not as a stop sign, but as a signpost pointing you toward exactly where you need to go. And with every step you take through fear, you build a quiet confidence inside, the kind of confidence that doesn't come from words or praise, but from experience. You begin to trust yourself in a way that no external success could ever give you. This is the secret the comfort zone hides from you, that your power grows in direct proportion to the discomfort you are willing to face. The very thing you avoid holds the key to the life you seek. And once you understand this, fear loses its grip, discomfort loses its bite. You stop seeing challenges as enemies and start seeing them as teachers. Teachers that shape your strength, deepen your courage, and awaken your true potential. The world opens up not for those who wait for fear to disappear, but for those who choose to move forward anyway. Fear is often misunderstood. We grow up thinking that fear is a warning to stay away, a signal that something is wrong. And yet, if you observe closely, fear appears not only in moments of danger, but also when you're about to do something new, something important, something that could change your life. The truth is, fear doesn't always show up to protect you from harm. Sometimes it appears to challenge you, to test your readiness to step beyond the known. Fear often stands at the doorway of growth, the very place where you hesitate, where your heart beats faster, where your hands feel shaky. That is the exact place where transformation begins. But most people never see it this way. They turn away the moment fear whispers. They think, if I'm afraid, it means I shouldn't do this. And so they stop, they retreat, they shrink their world once again. But fear is not the enemy. It is a messenger, a signpost showing you that you are standing at the edge of your limits. When you feel fear before trying something new, before speaking your truth, before stepping into a new role, before making a big decision, that fear is often pointing you towards your next level. It's showing you that this step matters, that this action holds weight, and if you ignore that call, if you let fear turn you back, you miss the chance to grow. You stay where you are. But if you step forward despite fear, you change. You break free from the old patterns that kept you small. You learn that fear loses its power the moment you walk towards it. You must learn to stand in front of fear and see it for what it is, a natural response to growth. Like a shadow that seems large when you face away from it, but shrinks when you turn toward it. Fear grows in your imagination when you avoid it, but when you face it head on, you realize it was never as strong as you thought. Every time you take a step through fear, you unlock a part of yourself that was waiting on the other side. And slowly you build a quiet, unshakable confidence, not the kind that comes from pretending you're fearless, but the kind that comes from knowing I was afraid and I did it anyway. This kind of confidence isn't loud. It doesn't boast. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists like a silent force within you, a strength that no one can give you and no one can take away, but it only grows in the soil of discomfort. It grows each time you face what scares you, when you choose to do the hard thing, the uncertain thing, the uncomfortable thing. You sharpen yourself, you strengthen your core, and this strength, this real confidence, it doesn't fade with time. It doesn't depend on praise or results. It becomes a part of who you are. Many people think confidence is about talent or natural ability. They believe it's something you either have or don't have. But the truth is, confidence is a result of repeated action in the face of discomfort. You don't become confident by talking about it. You become confident by living it, by stepping into the fire of fear and discomfort and learning, through experience, that you can stand strong. The first time you do it, it feels impossible. The second time, it feels hard. But the 10th time, the 20th time, it starts to feel natural. That is the power of stepping into discomfort again and again. You stop doubting yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You trust your ability to face whatever comes, and this trust in yourself becomes the foundation of real confidence. It's no longer about success or failure. It's about knowing I can handle it. I have faced hard things before, and I grew stronger every time. This kind of confidence doesn't waver when life gets tough. It doesn't disappear when you face a setback. It stays with you, steady and calm, because it was built in the fire of discomfort. Growth is not about never feeling fear or discomfort. It's about changing your relationship with them. Instead of running away, you lean in. Instead of avoiding, you face forward. And every time you do, you reclaim a little more of your strength. You become the kind of person who doesn't wait for life to hand you confidence. You build it yourself. Through every uncomfortable moment you choose to face, you lay another stone on the path of your inner strength. You start to walk differently, speak differently, think differently, because you know real confidence is born in the moments when you rise above your fear, when you do what's hard instead of what's easy. And this quiet strength will carry you through challenges you haven't even met yet, through storms you didn't know you could survive. It will become the unshakable part of you, forged not in comfort, but in the moments you dared to face the discomfort and walk through it with your head held high. The mind is a powerful force. It holds the ability to create your greatest strength or become your greatest limitation. Yet most people go through life never truly understanding how their mind works. They react, they avoid, they stay within what feels safe, and in doing so, they never stretch their mental capacity. They treat their mind like a fragile thing, something to protect from hardship. But the mind is not meant to be kept safe. It is meant to be tested, challenged, pushed beyond its limits. Like a muscle, it grows only when it is used, when it is placed under pressure. And discomfort is the perfect training ground for the mind. Each time you face a challenge that stretches you mentally, your mind adapts. What once seemed difficult starts to feel manageable. What once made you anxious becomes familiar. You realize that much of your fear, your hesitation, your doubt, they were only patterns of thought, not facts. They were stories your mind told you based on your past. And by stepping into discomfort, you rewrite those stories. You teach your mind that you are capable of more than you believed. You create new mental pathways, new ways of thinking, seeing, reacting. The mind becomes sharper, stronger, more flexible. You begin to notice how you respond under pressure. You learn to remain calm when others panic. You discover how to focus when everything around you feels uncertain. This is how mental strength is built, not in ease, but in the furnace of challenge. And with every challenge you face, your limits expand. You stop seeing obstacles as things to avoid and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You begin to trust yourself in situations that once made you doubt. Your mental endurance increases. You develop patience, resilience, clarity. The mind, once full of noise and fear, starts to settle. You learn to control your thoughts instead of letting your thoughts control you. And this shift changes everything. You stop asking if you can handle something. You start knowing that you can, because you've seen yourself face discomfort and grow from it. Again and again. But there is another truth that many realize too late. The greatest weight you will ever carry is the weight of regret, and regret rarely comes from trying and failing. It comes from not trying at all. From standing on the sidelines of your own life because you were too afraid to step forward. You may avoid discomfort today, thinking it will protect you. But one day you look back and realize all the moments you missed, all the chances you didn't take, all the growth you never allowed yourself to experience, and that regret. It stays with you, it lingers in quiet moments, in the silent questions of what if. It becomes a burden heavier than any failure you could have faced. Discomfort is temporary, regret can last a lifetime, and most people don't see this until it's too late. They spend years staying comfortable, staying safe, only to wake up one day and wonder where their courage went. Where their passion disappeared. They realize they traded their dreams for comfort. They realize that failure would have been a small price to pay compared to the weight of wondering what could have been. And this realization cuts deeper than any challenge ever could. But you don't have to carry that regret. You don't have to live a life of what if. You have a choice every single day, the choice to step into discomfort, to challenge yourself, to face your fears. The choice to grow. And with every choice you make to embrace the uncomfortable, you create a life with fewer regrets and deeper meaning. Because even when things don't go as planned, even when you fail, you learn. You grow, you become stronger, and in the end, it is the lessons you gain, the resilience you build, the strength you forge. These are the things that stay with you. These are the things that create a life you can be proud of. Growth through discomfort isn't about chasing pain or suffering. It's about recognizing that discomfort is the price of progress. It's about understanding that anything worth having in life requires you to stretch beyond your current self. And in doing so, you discover who you really are. You uncover strengths you never knew existed. You develop wisdom, patience, character. You learn to stand tall in moments when others would fall. You realize that discomfort is not your enemy. It is your ally, your teacher, your guide toward a deeper, fuller life. When you choose growth over regret, you choose a life of meaning over a life of missed chances. You choose courage over comfort. You choose to live fully, boldly, completely. And when you look back years from now, you'll see a life rich with lessons, experiences, victories. even failures, but no haunting questions of what might have been. You'll see a life lived with heart, with strength, with purpose, and that is a life worth every moment of discomfort along the way. A meaningful life is not built by following the easy path. It is shaped in the quiet moments when you choose courage over comfort, when you decide to rise instead of remain. Deep inside, every human heart carries the silent longing for a life that matters, a life where each day feels alive with purpose, not buried beneath the weight of routine and fear. But meaning does not arrive on its own. It is not something you find waiting at your doorstep. It is something you create, choice by choice, moment by moment, and every choice that pulls you out of your comfort zone moves you closer to a life of meaning. A meaningful life demands that you stop settling for what feels easy. It invites you to step forward even when you do not feel ready, because the truth is, you may never feel ready, and that is exactly why you must begin anyway. Meaning comes when you give yourself fully to something larger than fear, when you allow yourself to be stretched by challenge, by discomfort, by uncertainty. It is in those moments when your heart races, when your doubts scream loudest, when everything inside you wants to turn back, that you find the edge of who you are, and beyond that edge waits the person you were meant to become. When you leave your comfort zone, you do not just experience life, you engage with it. You stop being a bystander, you step into the arena where real living happens, where every challenge is a chance to grow, where every discomfort is a teacher, where every fear faced is a brick removed from the wall that kept you small. In this space you begin to taste a different kind of life, a life that humbles you, stretches you, strengthens you. A life that demands your full attention and rewards you with a depth of experience that comfort could never give. And through this, you discover something priceless, the meaning of your own journey. A meaning not given by the world, but built by your own hands, your own courage, your own willingness to rise. But this journey does not demand perfection. It does not require you to make giant leaps every day. The power of growth lies not in sudden, massive changes, but in small, consistent steps taken daily outside of your comfort zone. One small action, one uncomfortable conversation, one honest decision. These small steps, repeated over time, create a transformation that no comfort zone could ever offer. You do not have to climb a mountain in a day. You simply have to take one step, and then another, and then another. Growth is not about grand gestures or heroic acts. It is about quiet, steady movement in the direction of discomfort. It is about facing one fear at a time, about choosing the hard truth over the easy lie, about stepping forward even when your mind whispers you are not ready. With each small step, you build a new habit. You train your heart to seek challenge, not avoid it. You teach your mind to embrace uncertainty, not fear it. And slowly, almost without noticing, you begin to transform. And this transformation is not just on the outside. It is not just about achieving more or doing more. It is about becoming more aware, more resilient, more alive. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to see life differently. You realize that you are no longer the person who shrinks back from challenge. You are now the person who leans in, who stands tall, who chooses growth over fear, purpose over comfort, meaning over regret, and this shift changes everything. When you live this way with courage, with intention, With a heart open to growth, life begins to respond. Opportunities appear where before there were none. Strength rises in moments when before you would have crumbled. Peace finds you not in the absence of challenge, but in the mastery of facing it. And in the quiet moments when you reflect on your journey, you will see how far you have come. Not because you chased comfort, but because you walked willingly into discomfort again and again. The small steps you take today may seem insignificant, but over time they lead you to places you never dreamed possible. They unlock parts of you that were sleeping. They awaken a strength that no one can take away. They carve a path that is uniquely yours, a path built on courage, discipline, and a deep, unwavering commitment to growth. And when you look back, you will not see a life of missed chances. You will see a life lived with open eyes, open heart, and fearless steps forward. A life where every discomfort embraced became a door to something greater. A life that carries no regret, only the quiet, powerful knowing that you chose to rise again and again, no matter how small the step, no matter how great the fear. And in that choice you found the meaning you were searching for all along. So now, it's your move. Will you choose comfort or growth? Will you stay safe or step into your strength? I invite you to take just one bold step today, something that makes your heart race a little, something you've been avoiding, and when you do, come back here. Share your story in the comments. Let this be your community of courage, of growth, of change. If this message spoke to you, if it stirred something inside, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more powerful talks like this. And hey, what topic do you want us to cover next? Drop your ideas below. Your growth journey starts now, and we're in this together.